Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a model that was first launched in 2006 in the early days of the Greubel Forsey brand. This is the Greubel Forsey Tourbillon 24-second, the 24 Secondes. It's exactly what the name implies, a super fast rotating 24-second tourbillon in a 43.5 millimeter white gold case. Now, let's take a look at the dimensions here. The watch is 43.5 in diameter. It's 16.4 millimeters thick from lug to lug tip, 51.7 millimeters. And then we have a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference, get a look at how it fits. And you can see that it fits large, though 43.5 is by no means on the larger end of Greubel Forsey case sizes. It'll wear on my wrist. I would say you need a wrist of my size or larger. So let's say 16 centimeters circumference or larger, and you'll wear this watch well. It's not particularly thin. It sits proud of the wrist, but it makes the best use of its volume, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. Here's your down the barrel shot one more time, the cuff shot, and then over the top. Taking a look at the strap, Greubel Forsey does not short you the leather. Large rectangular scale alligator leather, thick cut. You could see that sheer side. Monotone black stitch. You can see it's a semi-gloss finish. The scales are remarkably symmetrical and large, which means this is an expensive cut of alligator leather on the bottom. Calfskin, you can see it's a Greubel Forsey factory strap in outstanding condition. We also have a folding clasp. It's actually a double folding clasp. It is gray gold, like the case, which means an 18-karat white gold alloy that is white all the way through and never needs to be rhodium plated. With the double folding action, it actually fits better on a small wrist without pinching. Then you can see the engraved Greubel Forsey logo is satinated atop the buckle itself. The case, again, we're talking that same type of gray gold that doesn't need to be rhodium plated, so you don't have to worry about a scratch through the coating showing a different material underneath. It's all the same color, homogeneous right through. It's the good stuff. It's what Patek, Rolex, and JLC all use. You can see that we have this wonderful little sort of concave profile to the lugs. Robert Greubel is responsible primarily for the aesthetic, Stephen Forsey the engineering and the watchmaking. And so Robert actually created a very subtle lug profile. As massive as the case is, it is not without nuance, and you can really see that profile flaring out at the tips. Now, the case is vertically satin finished in the middle. You can see that there's a sharp break between lug and case. The bezel's polished, the case back is polished. We have a sapphire viewport where you can easily see the 25-degree inclined 24-second tourbillon. And I may as well highlight some of the features here. Not only is it a very fast-moving tourbillon, but it is inclined so that the tourbillon will always help to cancel out the effects of gravity even when the watch is sitting stationary. Also important to note is that it's free sprung for durability and precise adjustment, and it uses an overcoil hairspring to further cancel out the effects of gravity on the rate of the watch. We have a power reserve scale that's made of white gold and then lacquered in black and red, and it is a twin barrel movement with twin barrels in series for a nice even torque release from max wind to minimum wind. 72-hour power reserve. We have a conventional seconds hand because the tourbillon, which normally operates as a second hand for tourbillon watches here, it makes a 24-second circuit, so it can't act as a seconds hand. So we have that conventional seconds sub-register right there. Taking a look at the cage for the tourbillon, you can see some of the features I mentioned before. The free sprung architecture, the 25-degree incline, and it is 25. The double tourbillon is 30 degrees. You can see the overcoil hairspring, and then features we didn't talk about, the spectacular tourbillon bridge. It's black polished and rounded across its top, and you can see each of the flanking pillars holding the structure up has been profiled like a sort of cone or a hyperboloid even, and then finished in its own right. All the screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots in circumference. The hands center are solid gold. The individual indices, the numeral, the logo, those are all solid gold. We have a lovely anthracite coating on the dial. And then if you look carefully, you can see that the platform below the tourbillon has been media blasted. We'll turn the watch over. You can see there's a Greubel Forsey lacquered logo on the crown. The movement is a manual wind that's over 36 millimeters in diameter, so just the movement in this watch is actually larger than a standard Rolex Datejust. Now, this is the GF01 movement from Greubel Forsey. Twin barrels, 36 joules, a 24-second inclined tourbillon, and you can see the barrels just below the upper bridge. What I love here is the uncompromising standards. Everything you see is the finest available. The frosting is done using a wire brush across the German silver bridges. Since we are in La Chaux de Fonds with Greubel Forsey, we won't call it German silver, we'll call it Maillot. All this water resistant down to 30 meters. We have rose gold plaques for the individual numbering as well as the nameplate. Those are solid gold. The screws here you can see are fired and oversized. They're beautifully blued. We have both black polished screws, which you can see on the front here, and then we have blued screws as well. We have golden chaton fixing the pivot jewels and the barrel arbors in place. That's not the way pocket watches used to be made in La Chaux de Fonds. And then you can see that the anglage is literally a mile wide. Look at the size and mirrored rounded profile of those bevels. That is as good as it gets in the industry. And you can see that the ambition level is high as we have sharp inward angles all over the place where those bevels meet. And then we have a lovely regularly spaced engine turning on the base plate with snailing at center. It's quite intricate, laborious, and helps to explain why at the time this watch was launched back in 2006, Greubel Forsey was only making a few dozen watches per year. Even today, they're only making, with their sports watch included, maybe 150 to 200. So still very constrained production with quality as the foremost goal. Quality, I should mention, and chronometry, as Greubel Forsey has been decorated at chronometry trials. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this 24-second tourbillon that beats away at 3 hertz.